Y'all doing today? Let me get my question box up over here where I can see everything. Somebody give me a yes in the question box. Doing well and yourself, says Daryl. Perfect. I'll take that as a yes. Excellent, excellent. Good to see you, David, Rex, Ken. Glad to have you all here. We haven't done one of these in a little while. I kind of stopped doing them because we weren't getting any questions. So we're gonna, that's what today's all about. If you've got questions about the Wrecking Ball SMS system, something I can help you with, this is the perfect opportunity for you to get those questions in and get them answered. I did want to cover what's being developed currently that should be available at least in a beta fashion by mid to late next week. I'm not sure it'll be out of beta next week, because obviously we want to put some testing on it, but it'll be available to you guys if you want to help us beta test. We're completely revamping the phone system within the software, and we're going to be able to do very complex phone flows from now on. So you can see this is a multi-staged phone flow here, and this is semi-representative of what it's going to look like inside of the system. You'll have all of the same menu functions that you used to have, plus several more. We'll be able to do things like trigger an SMS campaign from within a phone call. So you could be actually talking to somebody on the phone and tell them to go ahead and push 1, and that would add them to a certain campaign. So we'll be able to do those types of things. We'll also be able to trigger multiple functions simultaneously. So for instance, caller presses 1, we can send an office notification, subscribe the call, or play a message, and then forward the call, all with a single keystroke press. So it should be pretty robust, and then we're going to have some analytical call tracking built in as well. Some of the other functions that we've currently got underway, so to speak, are we're changing the way currently when you set up a new client, you are forced to buy that client a phone number. We found a way to eliminate that requirement. So when you set up a new client, you will have the option to set the client up without buying them a phone number, and that way you can transfer existing numbers to that client and you won't be forced to buy that extra phone number that you may or may not want. We're also putting functionality within the settings tab to allow you to transfer phone numbers and sub-accounts back to your main Twilio account and go both directions with that. So you'll be able to control all of your sub-accounts inside of Twilio with a lot greater accuracy and a lot greater detail in the very near future. Paul says, does this remove the need for VBX? In 95 or better % of the cases, Paul, yes, it will. I don't think that you will need to use OpenVBX for your phone flows. I think that we're building this out to the point where it'll be robust enough where you won't need that. Now, there might still be an occasional really tricky thing that you could do manually in OpenVBX that you won't be able to do inside the system. And if that comes up, it's imperative that you guys let me know exactly what kind of a flow you're trying to pull off, because it might just be a simple tweak to the system that we can incorporate on a future update. So, but for the most part, I don't think you will need to split a phone number and use OpenVBX for voice and the Wrecking Ball system for SMS. I think we're going to be able to handle pretty much everything right within the Wrecking Ball system. You will also notice on your next update, we have put the update button back. If you've been with the system, since its inception, way back in the day, back in December, there used to be an update button in the system, and I took it out because people were in the habit of clicking the update button daily, whether they needed to or not. And then when something was in beta, occasionally their system would get broken. So we actually took the update button out, and we've been doing the updates manually for the last 6 months or so. The update button will be going back in, but what we've done is we are now able to control it on our end. So the update button, when you log in, if no update button is showing, then you don't need an update. If the update button shows, that means that we've got a new update that's been tested, it's out of beta, and it'll be available to you. So the licensing system is actually going to be capable of determining what version you're on and compare it to the most current version, and then it will turn the update button on as required for each of you. And that way we won't have you in there just updating every single day. So that's a system we put a lot of time into over the last 3-4 weeks, and we think that's going to make it much, much better for everybody involved. It's certainly going to make it faster. I know on certain days when we announce a new update, it takes us 20 hours to get through all of them because everybody requests at once. So let's see. Question: list management and reporting. I find these two difficult areas. Is there any work going on in these? Well, no, not really. There's obviously, if any bugs that have been reported are always being dealt with, but there's no significant changes being done to list management. Ken, if there's anything that I can help you with to help you understand it, I'll be more than happy to do that. Daryl says, what version are we on? And this most current version is 4.10.3. So most of you are probably on 4.8. If you've done a relatively recent update, 4.8 is probably what you're on. There's no need to put in a support ticket requesting an update to 4.10.3. This is a beta install that we've thrown up for testing. So we will make sure and let everybody know when the next version, when the next update, when you should be concerned about that. So Colleen says, is there any difference between self-hosting and having Wrecking Ball host my system? Well, I mean, there's subtle differences, but certainly not in how the system operates or functions, Colleen. The reason we offer to host and the reason we tried to push people towards that, it's very simple, and I'll try and make it as clear as possible. We found that better than 50% of our support tickets were caused by poor installations or problem installations. What would happen a lot of times is people would get like halfway through the installation process. They wouldn't know their SID and auth token, where to get it. By the time they found it, the install process had timed out, so they go back and start again, and it was creating like duplicate database entries. By provisioning cPanel hosting on our server, we're able to use a piece of software that integrates with WHMCS, which is our server management software, that allows us to auto-install the system. So from a functionality standpoint, no, there's no difference whatsoever. However, if we're hosting your system, then you are obviously required to point the name servers of a domain towards our server. So if you wanted to install your Wrecking Ball system, let's say you have an existing website that's textmessagecells.com. If you wanted to install your system on textmessagecells.com/gateway or something like that, we won't be able to do that for you if we're hosting it. If we're hosting it, it's going right on the top level. So that's the only real difference. But as far as functionality goes, no, there's no difference whatsoever. And as you all know, if we're hosting your cPanel account, we give you a complete access to your cPanel account, just like you were buying it from HostGator. It just happens to lie on our dedicated server instead of their dedicated server. So it's the exact same thing. Russell says, if or when I use the super list, is it possible to program it so it will send out one text to each subscriber only? Russell, you have duplicate phone numbers in your super list because they're on multiple customer lists is, I think, what you're driving at. Yes, let me make a note of that actually right now. I think actually, don't quote me, and Eric's on vacation today, but I think that's been addressed. I'll know what that means. I'll make sure to get it addressed and get you an answer. Will the conference call add to the phone system and fax capability? No plans for fax capability. Conference calling, yes. That's in the works. No plans for fax capability, though. I don't know. I know faxes still exist, but boy, they're going away at a pretty rapid rate. And it's something I didn't think of. If you have a definite need for some type of fax capability, please detail it out and get it to us at support as quickly as you can. And if it's a possibility, we'll take a look at it. Dave says, in the seating notifier, is it possible to make it so when adding the customer's number, we don't have to enter their number as +44 here in the UK, and the restaurant can just enter the customer number? Yeah, let's see. I'm pretty sure we can do that for you. Let's see. Let's add checkbox. All right. That one we can do, Dave. I'll get it taken care of. Yeah, Ken, I would appreciate it if you would detail them out just in a notepad or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just let us know what you need and either shoot it to support@wreckingballmarketing.com or punch it into a support ticket. So I'm still learning and testing the system. When I send a text from my Verizon phone, it usually tells me it is unable to send the text, and it keeps trying to send a text. Colleen, you're saying when you send a text from your phone, you get that, or when you're sending a text from the system to your phone? If you're saying you're getting that error when you're trying to send from your phone, I think you got to call Verizon on that one. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that one. Let's see. Daryl Power says, are we able to record calls for clients via this? I was looking to CallFire to work with this. So to be able to actually record a call that's in progress and record the call, that's not planned. I don't know if we can do that, but I will find out the answer. I will find out the answer to that one, sir. Yep, I got that one. I got that one. Christopher says, is it possible for us to tweak the look and feel of the system, change the layout a little, and button styles, keep it working, not just the colors? Here's what I'm going to say to that, Christopher. If you want to start hacking it, it's yours. You own it. Go for it. Don't plan on leaning on us for support if you've hacked the system. That's what I can say about it. There's people out there that are successfully hacking it and changing, they want to use images for button backgrounds and things like that, and they get in there and they do it and they're successful with it. And then there's others that get in there and just screw everything up. And if the first time we have a 2-hour support problem that we have to get our programmer involved in, and we find out it was caused by you hacking it, that's going to be a problem. It takes up a ton of our time. People that think they know what they're doing, and they start hacking code, and all of a sudden something stops working that they didn't anticipate, and it costs us hours and hours and hours of time only to find out that they broke the system themselves. So my terms and conditions say that you can't, and if you're looking for a hard line on the record answer, that's my answer. The reality off the record is, if you want to hack it, you own it. I'm not going to put up a stink about it, but don't expect us to support it if it stops working after you've hacked it. That's where I'm at with it. If you have specific changes you would like to have made for appearance and styling, I'll be more than happy to get them done for you at cost and have the programmer who wrote the software do it. So we'll be more than happy to do that for you, but I can't do it for free, because I'm going to have to pay for it. And if you're the only one who wants it, well, it is what it is. I mean, we need to keep in mind here that I understand where you're coming from. I really do. But it's a system built on functionality, not form. So, it is what it is. Like I said, if you have specific requirements, I'll be more than happy to help you out with them if we can. And I'm certainly don't need to make any money on it, but I would need to cover costs. Let's see. Ralph says possibility of having responses to polls, surveys, etc. segmented into sub-lists for more targeted marketing based on these responses. That's coming, Ralph, but it's not going to be in this very next update. We're looking at and working on ways to further drill down with logic operations, so to further segregate a list and perform logic operations. So if a customer texts back a certain keyword, they're removed from one list and added to another list, and that would allow you to be able to sort and segment lists like that. So we're actually working on it, but it's not going to be in this next update. It's complex, but it is in process. What's the cost per month if you host? Mark, if you're on a monthly plan, then we'll give you hosting for free if you're on a monthly plan. If you bought the system on a one-time payment, we'd need like $10 a month to provision you cPanel hosting and host it for you. The nice thing about that, you guys, is it guarantees a perfect installation, and it makes it a lot easier for us to support your system, because we would have back-end access to your cPanel. Again, you'd have to, you'd grant us permission to take a look, but it saves a lot of time when we need to troubleshoot things. But with that said, it's not really a deal. But yeah, if you paid on a one-time purchase and you wanted us to host it for you, we, $10 a month, just put in a support ticket, we'll take you care of. Let's see, and that covered that question as well. Would it be possible to label each phone number by task, so when transferring numbers, I do not screw it up again? Russell, I don't exactly understand that question. I don't know what you mean by label each phone number by task. Elaborate a little bit. Let's see, if you are hosting, can you tell me what the website path is under settings FTP info? Yeah, it's going to look just like this. So this is going to be the domain, which isn't going to change, right? And then it's going to be public HTML and whatever the folder you set that up on is. So it's going to look just like that. And there's actually 2 videos in the members area that details that out pretty good. From the master transfer list. Shoot, I don't know what that meant. Ken says, what about reporting? I've just been charged $7 again, but the current campaign reporting is meaningless. Okay, I'm gonna say this one more time. First of all, it's not meaningless. I mean, I hear you. It could be more robust. We've asked many times. Oh, and there's an interesting error that just popped up. Eric just threw this version up. That's why it's in beta. Let me grab this one real quick. We need you guys to tell us. We'll put anything in the reports that you want. I said this a month ago. I've said it many times. Just tell us what you want. We'll add it in. You know, that's what we're looking for from you guys. We went to add stuff into the reports, and we don't really know what everybody's looking for. So, I mean, if you'll tell us what you're looking to get in there, not here in the question box, put it in a support ticket, put it in a text file and email it to us. But whatever you guys need in those reports, we're more than happy to put it in. Just tell us what you need. It's really that simple. Hang on one second, you guys. So yeah, just tell us what you need. Personally, I mean, you know, I actually use those reports, right? We have a couple of clients that request them, and so I actually send them out, and they're very happy to get them. So for me, it's the the $7 is not a big deal because it makes the customer happy. But any features, any additional reporting that you want in there, let us know. Paul says, I have used the booking system here in the UK, and it works without the plus 44. Okay, so we'll need to test that, but I've got a note to check that out, so it's cool. Yeah, Rick says, huge storage issue for call recording. Yeah, Rick, if we're going to do call recording, we probably would need to integrate with like an Amazon S3 account, because you're right. Otherwise, the server load is going to be just immense. But I'm going to talk to the programmer and get his answer on that, and we'll go, we'll go from there. Wayne says, can you walk through the reply with name on the double opt-in? And I get that your name has been updated text back when testing, but it halts the campaign message. It shouldn't, Wayne. The way this should work, I think we got it here. Oops. SMS info. So this is where the reply message is set. So this is your name has been updated, right? That's where that's set. And the way this should work is if reply with name is checked, then it should interrupt the message. It should interrupt the flow and send the message I just showed you. Once they reply back, they get the reply with name, and then it should send this one. Now, if both of them are checked, then it's going to require you to text back the keyword a second time. So you would put a message in here that says, before we can begin sending you any information, please reply with WBSMS one more time. Okay, so if they're both checked, that's how that works. You can also use a yes in here instead of the keyword the second time. So either one of those works in that spot. Ken says, when will we have pound symbol support? Good question. I'll find out. And let's see. This is a great question. Ken says, message length. Current phones can handle SMS messages much longer than 160 characters. Any plans to support this? we're looking at it. It's called stacking, and we are looking at it. There's, from our side of it, from the software side, it's more difficult. It's more complex than you would think, Ken. But we are looking at it to see if we can make it happen. But yeah, that's called stacking, and it is something that we're cognizant of and thinking about and trying to make happen. We're just not sure what direction to go with it so far. Colleen says, I read somewhere in Wrecking Ball that Verizon blocks some text messages, something about the message to stop receiving messages. Here's, Colleen, there was a deal 3 or 4 months back that, and I'm not going to remember the exact text, but certain Verizon installations. See, here's the deal. Verizon is a company that was built by buying lots of small little companies. And we think what happened is some of those smaller installations that Verizon hadn't gotten around to updating their systems were what was causing the problem. But yes, they were blocking a certain set of phrases, and it was like reply stop to end. So everybody who changed from reply stop to end to reply stop to cancel, if you just changed that text by one word, that fixed the problem. And I haven't heard about that problem in months now. I think it was relatively isolated. It was 4 or 5 months ago, and I don't even know how widespread it was. I mean, you know how internet and Skype groups work. It's entirely possible that it was just a rumor. We really don't know. But the person that reported that also reported that if by changing the text, it fixed the problem. And in the testing we were able to do as a group, that seemed to stand true. So there's absolutely no official reports that I've been able to find that says Verizon is blocking text messages, period. But that was the rumor, and the testing that we were able to do seemed to confirm it. So that's what I know about it. Let's see, Dave, have you seen any problems having SMS and the Open VBX call system in the same cPanel? I haven't. I have a few installations of both that are running on one cPanel. The cPanel you're actually looking at here has 5 or 6 Open VBX installations, I think, and 7 or 8 Wrecking Ball installations and a My Text Wall installation or 4. And we don't have any problems with, cross-contamination or blocking or anything like that. Let's see. Join this call and new to the system like 1 month. Are there any plans for visual coupons versus just plain text messages? Yes, Lars. As part of our Thursday think tank, we're developing a coupon generator that is kind of going to be designed. I don't want to say designed to be used with a text message, but certainly is very, very applicable to that type of system. Once it's finished, there's a we're going to try and find a way to plug it in directly to the software. Now, that if you're not in the Thursday think tank, that would be a paid plug-in for you because it's being developed for the Thursday think tank, and I can't give it away outside of the Thursday think tank. It wouldn't be fair to those people. But we're looking at a way to plug it directly into the Wrecking Ball system, and it would be available to you at a very, very low cost. And the way we've got it spec'd out, it's going to be absolutely the most robust mobile coupon landing and squeeze page generator on the planet. So we're working on it. Let's see. Oh, Russell. Yeah, Russell says, sorry, when I transfer a number, is it possible for me to pre-label them like in Twilio so I can label unused numbers? Possibly. Let's see. I know I got a bunch of spelling errors in there, guys. Get over it. Let's see. Yeah, Ken. Ken says, question web form. As far as I can see, it's currently only available at the admin level, but does not support choice of clients campaigns. Yeah, that's being fixed, Ken. That's being fixed, and it's going into the client level as well. Let's see. Couldn't you add Google Analytics into the reporting system? I don't know. I don't know on that one. Let's see. I have a church that wants to use the system to have their members sent questions via text during the sermon. Can they text the answers individually to Wrecking Ball? Yes. This is actually a better question for Eric. I haven't used this function, and he actually spec'd it out. Where did he put it? I think it's, oh yeah, it's in survey module. What you would do is you would add a survey, and what you can do is you can ask the question right here, and when you pick custom answer, that allows them to text back any message, and it's stored in the database. So that's how you would do that. You would use this. You would use the survey functionality, and then the custom answer checkbox, and that would allow you to do that, Colleen. And there's a video in the members area that goes through this in detail. So check that out. Let's see. Dave, if my version is less than 4.8, should I put in a support ticket or just wait for the update button to show up? No, you'll need to put in, we'll need to do a manual update from 4.8 to get the update button to show up anyway, Bob. But, I mean, it's up to you. You could either update now or wait another week and just get the most recent version. It's up to you, but yeah, I feel like just put in a support ticket. Ken says, reports, we've offered to help further, but there's been no follow-up. Is that over in the forum, Ken? Is that where you're saying this is happening? Ken? All right, I'll check it out, Ken. I haven't seen that. It's possible it's getting lost in there, but I'll take a look. We'll dig it out. I mean, we want to give you what you want, man. It's not like you're being intentionally ignored, so I can promise you that's not the case. Will we be able to segment lists by groups of subscribers so that a client can send message to a different group of subscribers each week? Not natively within the software, but that's about a 5-minute job, Paul, to do it manually if your client really wants to do that. I mean, if you have a client who's got a list that's so big that they want to be able to break it down and only send 200 at a time, you could export that list of 20,000 and upload it back into smaller lists, group 1, group 2, group 3, in about 5 minutes. So we call that throttling. And as of right now, I don't have any plans to put throttling into the system because it's very complex from a database standpoint. It would mean adding a table to everybody's database to allow to track who's been sent to, who hasn't been sent to, and then when you get into a send SMS, it becomes very complex because you would need several different options in here to decide, okay, so this person just got a message yesterday because they're on this segment of the list, so now when I click send SMS, who gets it? Whereas if you just break it into multiple lists of manageable sizes, then it becomes very easy to do. So I haven't seen a ton of real-world need for that, to be honest with you. I have probably more SMS clients than most of you, and I don't have a need for it. I don't have any clients that have so many people on a list that they want to be able to throttle that sending. So I haven't seen a whole lot of real world need for it, and it's pretty complex. Let's see. All right. We got two more in here from Ken. Ken, if you are that unhappy with the reports, go to PayPal and hit cancel on the $7, man. Um, I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but if you have specific features that you'd like to put in there, please let me know about it. If you put one in and I missed it, I'm sorry for that. But if you're that unhappy with it and you think you're being ripped off for the $7, go to PayPal, hit cancel. It's that simple. Otherwise, just let me know. Just let me know what you need. If you put in a support ticket that got missed, I'm sorry. Copy and paste, throw it back in there. I promise you, it'll get taken. It'll get looked at. Let's see. Thanks. Regarding stacking, any idea of likely timescales? I'm hesitant to comment on that. It's a solid 6 weeks, possibly 8 weeks away. I'm pretty sure of that. It's the situation is because had we known it was coming early on in the development of the software, it would be much easier to integrate now. But because of the way the software works and because of the way the software is written, it's just very difficult to do, especially when you get into things like trying to integrate the stacking with like a survey, trivial, viral module where you have multiple messages that have to go out or come in sequence. That's really where the complexity lies. So, because you have to keep in mind, as far as Twilio and as far as the carrier are concerned, it's two messages. Now, some phones piece the two messages back together to make one message on for instance, the latest iPhone, but it's still two messages as far as the carrier is concerned, and it's two messages as far as Twilio is concerned. So that's why it's so complex to do. We've had many in-depth conversations about this with the programmer, and we're trying to figure out the best way to handle it. And it may be a situation where it winds up going into a standard campaign only. I'm just not sure, so I'm hesitant to answer that question, sir. Colleen says, what is max text length? It's 160 characters, Colleen. Mark says, Dave, is your $1,000 per day business model for car dealerships and realtors still viable? It is. It is. As a matter of fact, I just got an email 2 days ago from somebody who just saw it for the first time and went out and picked up 3 new auto dealers. So, I mean, like anything, it may need to evolve and change, and feel free to put your own twists on it. But fundamentally, I think it's still very viable. Especially with the addition of QR codes and NFC and all those kinds of things. I think it's an excellent, service to offer still. Let's see, WBS manual up to date in the back office. No, it's not, Bill. No, we're trying to get through this. We're trying to get through this latest update before we update that PDF. We actually hired somebody. It turned into a mess. We hired somebody to do the PDF for us again and actually gave her free software in exchange for doing the PDF. And, I've been down this road so many times. I mean, I've tried to pay people to do it. I've tried to hire people to do it. I've tried to joint venture people to do it. And everybody says, oh, yeah, I'll get it done for you. I'll get it done for you. And then it just falls apart. So we'll have to just take the time and do it ourselves. So we're waiting to get through this most recent update on the My Phone system and the other changes, and then we'll be updating that PDF that's in the members area. So let's see. Dave, what have you found are the best niches to go after with the system? And who's the most happy with it? That's a really tough question to answer. Obviously, I make an absolute killing, with realtors and auto dealers that I've had for a long, long time now. But I also have several power sports dealers that are extremely happy with text message marketing as a whole. Um, you have to keep in mind that, like, when you're doing text message marketing for a realtor is a lot different than text message marketing for a motorcycle dealer, or not for a realtor, for a restaurant. I mean, for a restaurant, it you get immediate results, right? You get immediate results because you can put out a great dinner special and you can line people up. When you're sending out text messages about financing rates on motorcycles, you don't get those immediate results, but you don't get those immediate results from a newspaper ad or a radio ad either. So it's a different kind of campaign and it's a different type of mentality. And the key to selling those niches where the immediate results aren't realized is you have to sell the benefits of text message marketing as a whole. You need to point out that they're currently spending money on newspaper ads. Why? They can't track who's reading them. They don't know for sure they're doing any good. So you just need to sell on statistics. You need to be able to show to them that a text message has a global open rate of 92%. We know it works. We know it's targeted. We know that people are never more than 4 feet from their mobile phone. We know it's cost effective. So it's a different type of sales strategy. Whereas if you're selling text messaging to a restaurant, all you got to do is give them a 3-week free trial, and you can prove to them that it works because you can send out a blast and you can bring the customers in. So it's a lot different depending on the niche, but it's extremely effective regardless. It's just not immediately obvious that it's effective. Text message marketing for a realtor, if a realtor pays you $100 a month, just as an example, to run their text messaging campaigns, and you go 3 years without selling a house off a text message, and that guy's now paid you, $9,000. Well, he's still going to have a pretty good ROI if he sells one $500,000 home that you captured the lead via text message. The ROI is still phenomenal. So it's a little bit different game, and you just kind of need to keep that in mind. But I don't think there's a niche on the planet that can't use text message marketing. We challenged, this is going back a ways, but on a call I had, I asked somebody, give me a really obscure niche, let's figure out how to do it. And somebody said, I live in a small town that has a co-op grain elevator. What can we do for them? And she wound up going and using text messages to send out, because grains and the co-op, they're dealing in commodities, grain and bean prices go up and down every day. She wound up sending out daily pricing updates to all the farmers and was able to sign people up via text message for that. And it wound up being relatively effective. I don't think there's a niche out there that can't benefit from text message marketing. Paulette says, is there a cost if you host my wrecking ball? Not if you're paying on a monthly plan. If you bought on a one-time purchase, $10 a month, put in a support ticket, we'll hook you up. Let's see. Will text to voice be added to the phone system? Yes, if I'm understanding the question correctly. Yes. Let's see. Dave, we talked about someone helping me set up the programs that are in the wrecking ball, setting up that. Yeah, we did, didn't we? Let me get, I'll put you in touch with somebody. Let's see. No, Lou, LBS. Lou was asking, Dave, I purchased LBS a while back, didn't get around to implementing it. Is the coupon feature that's going to be in some shape or form as with LBS? No, it's going to be different. LBS is a complete lead capture, lead arbitrage system. The coupon builder that we're building out is simply going to be the end of the campaign, right? So I don't care how you get them there. I don't care if you get them there with NFC or with a call to action or a URL or a QR code or a text message. We wanted to build out the end of the line. So we're not gonna even provide methods to get them to the coupon. We just want to have a really, really kick-ass end of the line with things like viral sharing and proper redemptions and things like that. Whereas LBS is really designed to be able to capture leads and resell the leads to clients automatically. So Russell says, I have 4.9. Will that auto update? I don't know, Russell. That's a question for Eric, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to have to go through, regardless of where everybody, no matter what version you're on, everybody's going to have to go through one more manual update before the update button starts showing up. Let's see. Daryl says $7 for any report, no matter how flimsy, is a deal. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Yeah. All right, Ken. Yeah. We're on it. That's what I'm telling you. Ken says, I'd rather have good reporting functionality. Don't misunderstand me. Overall, I'm very happy with the system. Yep, I hear you. Ken, I promise you that I will, if you've been in contact with Eric, Eric's Eric's been a lot overwhelmed the last couple months. It may have slipped off of his plate. No fault of his own. I beat him up pretty good on a daily basis. I will make sure that we take a look at your suggestions and we get them in there. Let's see. Bob says, I know that you decided against following the Solivay launch, but do you have any general ideas on how to use Wrecking Ball to promote it? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. I'm thinking. I mean, my gut tells me that you would want to use a viral campaign. I'm trying to figure out how you would incentivize a viral campaign to follow the Solivay promotion. And I don't know if I know the answer to that. What you could do, you could set up a squeeze page that does lead capture and ask for cell phone numbers, which would be very easy to do in this particular campaign since you're dealing with cell phone provider. You could ask for cell phone numbers, then you could pair the cell phone numbers up with the referred cell phone numbers in the database from Wrecking Ball. It would require a little bit of manual work, but it could be done. And I think that would probably be the best twist on it. Yeah. Yeah, I want to think about that. Shoot me an email and remind me. Or shoot me an email and let me know how to get back to you. Let me think about that for a little bit. Larry, can you give us the URL for that auto and real estate? It's in the members area, Larry, in the bonuses section. Rick says, Dave, what do you need for that PDF? What I'm talking about, Rick, is we just want, and according to Ken, Eric's already got several suggestions from us that I didn't see. But we just, the reporting functionality that's in the system, we need to know what you guys want so we can add it in there. I mean, it's not a ton of programming, so obviously we're not ducking it. We'll be more than happy to put in there whatever you need within reason. So if you have something you need in that reports generation feature, just let us know, and we'll get it in there. Colleen says, somehow I missed the My Text Wall product. Well, sorry, then you have to get off the call. No, I'm just kidding. Is there any way to still get it? If so, what's the cost? Yeah, I think we sold it for $27, Colleen, and just put in a support ticket. We'll get it to you. Might not be till Monday night, Tuesday when Eric gets back. But we'll get it to you. Let's see. Jared, I'm not going to answer. Jared wants to know how much charging your realtors, car dealers. That's covered in the $1,000 a day system that's in the bonus area. So check that out. Probably this question is not related, says Juan. I got a new restaurant client yesterday, and he does not have food images on his menu at all. God, sell him a menu, man. Sell a menu design service. I'll bet you, Juan, if we get on the interweb, for with food images. I'll bet you if you dig around long enough, you can probably find some statistics that will tell you that a menu with nice pictures of the food sells more food. I mean, there's a reason they put those big pictures of that mountain chocolate cake in front of us, right? If I see a sign that says chocolate cake, who cares? But when I see a beautiful glossy 3D picture of that big mountain chocolate fudge cake, boy, I want one. You should sell them a menu, Juan. Get yourself a graphics guy, possibly get a hold of Marv. Don't get a hold of Marv this week because he's working on my shit, but feel free to get a hold of Marv next week and, sell these guys a menu. Sounds like they could use some help with it. Where can I find info on how to use the Schema plugin? It's inside of the Thursday Think Tank members area. There's several videos and complete instructions in there. And we've got some updates coming to the Schema plugin as well over the next couple of days. If you guys own it, you'll get them for free. Question, managed service. I only want my client to see My List screen so they can use this for reward verification. However, when I need to add a group campaign, send text, or view reports, these also display on the client list screen. Is there any way to avoid this? The client shouldn't be seeing anything, Ken, that the client doesn't have access to. If they are, that's a bug, and we need to get that looked at. Let's see. Russell says NFC ? Not going to go into it on this call, Russell. Stands for Near Field Communication. If you're in the Thursday Think Tank, I highly recommend you pop over to the Thursday Think Tank Facebook group where there's a pretty active discussion and several videos going on talking about it. Juan says, any idea of how to get that done without having a photographer take pictures of every dish? Well, I bet you can buy them. What kind of foods he sell, Juan? Mexican, Italian, what? I mean, there's some pretty kick-ass images over here at iStock. I would be willing to bet you could buy virtually any image you needed. And this is just, they got 91 pages of killer Mexican food pictures over here. So, if you really wanted to make a play at it, that's probably a better way to do it anyway, because you know you're going to get these killer professional photos over here. But I bet you can find everything you need right here, brother. Do you have a link to LBS so I can review it? Patrick, I can get you put in a support ticket, but we don't currently have a sales page up for it that completely details out everything, Put in a support ticket, we'll get you the information. Yeah, Kelly says, I came in late, don't know if this has been answered. I just got updated to version 4+. Is there an update breakdown on what's been changed? No, sadly, and this is 100% my fault, but the change log in the members area has been a little lax and needs to be updated. It's something that's on the schedule for next week, and I'm going to put it in my notes too. So, I mean, we have it all in our project management software. We just haven't updated the members area. Sorry about that. Let me shut that off there, guys. Um, so we'll get that updated, and that'll answer that question. Let's see. Ken says, okay, thanks. Let's see. Have the viral share codes been converted to uppercase for better readability? I believe they have, because we got that question a while back, but I want to check that out. I'm pretty sure that we got that one already, Paul, but I'll check it out. Let's see. Can we have sender identification instead of phone numbers so that we don't have to use some of our 160 characters? I don't know what sender identification is. I don't understand that question, Paul. Let's see. We got that one. Yeah, picture's worth 1,000 words, says Kelly. I agree. Jared says, hey, Dave, if we are hosting our own SMS system, do we need to use your $10 service? No, hell no. Not just no, but hell no. Absolutely not. May have missed this, but the content for SPS is no longer available in the members area. Yeah, it is. It just got moved. I'll show you where it's at. It's under products now. It's right here. So you go products and then SMS prospecting system. It just got moved, Lou, but it's all still in there. Let's see. Brian says go to Pinterest for food images. Interesting. No, Ken, I'm sorry. You would need to log into the client's account to manage the client's data. That's correct. Rick Hall says, an unsolicited testimonial, need a Friday hangover tank for the Thursday think tank, Dave. Flood of ideas caused sleep disorder last night, and I'm very tired. Let's see. Yeah, David, I did do the webinar for Offline Action Master, and I'll get you the replay. I'll make sure and get you the replay to that. Let's see. Okay, and Ken says, yes, that is an operational issue. All right, Ken, we need to get that taken a look at then. We need to get that taken a look at. Let's see. Well, that's an hour, and the question box is empty. So that couldn't have worked out too much better. We'll keep these going. I don't mind doing these, you guys. I don't mind doing these, pretty frequently. We kind of stopped for a little bit because nobody was asking any questions. So, we're not just going to sit here and, waste time. So, but as long as there's questions and they continue to come in and there continues to be a need for these webinars, we'll keep doing them. So this was a nice, good session. I'll get the recording processed and we'll get that posted, and we'll get another one scheduled for sometime next week. Paul says, what I meant by sender identification was how the client is identified on the subscriber's phone. Messages always come from a phone number instead of a client's business name. Well, yeah, Paul, that's a function of the phone. So like no, there's nothing we can do about that. But what would happen is if for some reason the phone number was entered into the phone's contact list, then it would show the client name, not the phone number. But that's a function of the phone, not our system or the sender. Yeah, Russell, I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not sure where Eric's been putting them. I think they've been going right here in the members area. maybe he has put them in the forum. Nope, they're in bonuses and webinars is where he's been putting them, I believe. Yep, this is where they are. So they're in bonuses and then webinars. So I'm sure he'll stuff this one in there too and probably get a link into the forum as well. Doug says, can I still get SPS? Yeah, just shoot us an email or a support ticket and we'll hook you up. All right, with that said, thanks for being here, you guys. I'll get another webinar scheduled for next week, and in the meantime, you know where to find us. Like I said, Eric, if I said on the call last night, Eric is on vacation. He's got some family business he's attending to today through Monday. So all emergency issues will be addressed, but if we're a little slow getting back to you over the next 4 days, that's the reason why. So don't panic, don't be offended. So I will talk to all of you very, very soon. Have a great rest of your day and a very profitable tomorrow. Bye-bye.